Greetings and welcome to BART's Daily City Yard. I am BART Board President Melissa Hernandez, and it is a pleasure to host you, Governor Newsom. This is where the magic happens. The Daily City Yard is a hugely important facility that supports our service up and down the peninsula, through San Francisco and across the Bay. BART's dedicated workforce takes great pride in the fact we dispatch 665 trains each weekday, serving 55 million trips last year. That's nearly 1 billion passenger miles. These are trips that keep the economy thriving and the Bay Area moving. So many of us in our community depend on BART as an affordable way to move around, and we cannot let this system fail. Governor, the state loan you're about to sign is critical to and for our community. Residents here rely on BART as an affordable option to get to and from work. Governor, thank you for being a steadfast advocate for the people in the Bay Area who rely on transit and BART, as well as the Bay Area delegation. You have consistently recognized our role in moving the region and strengthening the Bay Area economy. I would like to now introduce our MTC Chair, Sue Novak.
I'm going to raise this up since I'm a little tall. Good afternoon. I'm Sue Nowak. I am the chair of the Metropolitan Transportation Commission, and I'm very happy to be here today to celebrate passage of the bill to authorize a loan to the Bay Area transit agencies. This agreement represents the Bay Area at our best when we work together as a region and partner with the state. This was a must-pass bill, but that didn't make it easy. As I've learned as chair, nothing is ever easy when it comes to Bay Area transit funding. I want to recognize the hard work of Governor Newsom's team, the Department of Finance, MTC, the transit agencies that received the loans, and Santa Clara VTA. Everyone stepped up, recognizing the enormity of what was at stake for the region. The assignment was a difficult one: secure a loan to avert major service cuts while avoiding negative impacts on the state's general fund and on Bay Area transit capital projects. This legislation threads that needle. Without this assistance, hundreds of thousands of daily transit riders across the region would have experienced reduced service over the next year. While ridership dropped rapidly during the pandemic, it has been steadily recovering and now stands at about 70% of pre-COVID levels. Today, our transit systems carry an average of over 900,000 trips per day, and the systems receiving the loan are seeing ridership and customer satisfaction growing each year. I want to thank Governor Newsom for his support of Bay Area Transit. Now that they've secured a lifeline, Bay Area transit agencies can focus their attention on delivering the best transit service they can as we build toward a more secure future. With that, let me introduce SEIU 1021 BART Chapter Vice President Ray Fields. You may lead this up.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Ray Fields. I'm a transit vehicle mechanic for Bay Area Rapid Transit. I'm also one of the chapter vice presidents for the BART chapter of SEIU Local 1021. SEIU members proudly operate transit lines in one of the most public transit urban centers in the nation. We keep our trains and buses safe and moving for our communities. Many SEIU members also count on public transportation to get to work, shop, and get our kids to school safely. Protecting jobs and building thriving communities is why SEIU members led the fight to sustain Bay Area transit in the short term, and why we will keep fighting to strengthen these systems for the long haul. We are proud that by coming together to fight for this investment, we've helped working people get to the jobs that put food on the table, seniors can get to their doctor's appointments, and college students can make it to class. What's good for workers is good for our communities and good for California. Our economy depends on affordable and reliable public transit so that millions of people are able to move throughout our urban regions with ease. Our climate goals and the quality of air require us to invest in and support transit systems that reduce air pollution and take cars off the road. Working families depend on a strong and affordable transit system. 44% of BART riders do not own a vehicle. They depend on accessible, affordable, and reliable transit. SEIU members are truly grateful to the leaders who championed this critical investment in today's jobs and a strong future for the Bay Area communities that rely on strong transit systems. Governor Newsom, Senate President Pro Tempore Limon, Speaker Rivas, Senate Budget Committee Chair Laird, Chair Emeritus Weiner, and Senator Arreguin performed a vital service to Bay Area communities by upholding California's commitment to public transit and the working people who power this vital sector. Thank you. And now I would like to pass the mic to
Assemblymember Lori Wilson. There we go. Thank you. What a pleasure it is to be here today. My name is Assemblymember Lori Wilson. I have the proud distinction of representing the 11th District, which includes Solano, Contra Costa, and Sacramento counties, but I also serve as chair of Assembly Transportation Committee. I want to thank the governor and everyone here today, especially you, for your leadership on this and your commitment to keeping California moving. As chair, it is an honor to be here with my colleagues in celebration of the signing of AB 117. This bill is about stability. Our transit system experienced dramatic ridership and revenue shifts beginning with the COVID-19 pandemic, and they are still navigating those impacts. This measure authorizes a temporary loan, which will serve as a bridge funding. It's a responsible temporary support that aligns with the 2025 Budget Act. Public transit is not optional for many Californians. It connects workers to jobs, students to schools, and families to essential services. Transit is also critical to achieving our climate goals and to reducing congestion on our roads. This bill provides flexibility while local leaders consider long-term solutions and engage stakeholders and constituencies. And today's signing reflects our commitment to protecting essential services and strengthening regional partnerships. I want to sincerely thank our transit operators and frontline workers who keep our communities connected every single day. I'd like to now introduce my colleague and partner in crime in a lot of ways when it comes to transportation. Maybe I shouldn't have said the word crime. But anyway, partner in service. I'm Senator Scott Weiner, a longtime champion and passionate advocate for public transportation.
Well, we'll call it partner in buses and trains. How about that? So I am so happy that we are all here today. This is the culmination of years of work. And you know the challenges, the funding challenges that our public transportation systems in the Bay Area face now are not new. They've been with us for a very long time. The pandemic didn't cause them. The pandemic made it worse and more obvious. But for far too long, we have not adequately funded our public transportation systems. And we are step by step changing that. And I want to thank the governor and my colleagues in the legislature for all working together to really change that and make real positive momentum for our transit systems. And this is a multi-year process that got us here today. I still remember under the governor's leadership, we made a historic multi-billion-dollar investment in transit capital needs in California, and that was transformational. But about 3 years ago, a bunch of us got together and we said, you know, the capital is great. We need capital investment, but we have an operating problem. We have an operating funding problem. And if we don't do anything, if we just let inertia sit in, we're going to lose our public transportation systems. We're going to lose BART. we're going to lose a lot of money. We're going to lose Caltrain. We're going to lose these systems. They will either be a shadow of what they were, or they will not exist at all. And we decided we're not going to let that happen. That is not acceptable for the Bay Area, and we're just not going to let it happen. And so we had multiple bills and budget asks, and we got some bridge funding a few years ago. And then this year we came in and we knew that we were advancing our regional multi-county long-term sustainable funding authorizing legislation to go to the ballot. But we knew that we needed bridge funding so that Muni and BART, AC Transit, and Caltrain didn't have to make devastating cuts to service. The last thing that we need is to have these systems unravel, because when funding comes in and you've already unraveled as a transit system, it doesn't do much good. And so what we're doing here today is to stabilize these systems and to bridge us from here until we have a longer-term sustainable funding solution. And, you know, this is a budget bill, and it has to do with a loan. It's all this technical stuff. But fundamentally, this is about people in the Bay Area. This is about people who rely on transit to get to work every day, students who rely on transit to get to school, people who rely on transit to visit their family, to go shopping, to get where they're going. That's what it's about. It's about people who drive and don't want to have another 100,000 cars on the road, which is what will happen if these systems begin to unravel. It's about our climate goals. It's about the Bay Area economy, people just being able to get around and the economy being able to function. And all of that is dependent on strong public transportation. And I know transit always needs to be better. There's been so much progress. These systems are better now than they were a few years ago. They're cleaner, they're safer, they're more reliable now than they were a few years ago. And good things are going to continue to happen. And this loan will help us get there. I am so grateful to everyone who made this possible. Thank you, Governor, for always working with us and standing with us and delivering. We are so appreciative on behalf of my constituents who will continue to be able to use transit. Thank you. I want to thank all of our regional partners at the MTC and all the transit operators and all the local elected officials who stepped up to say we want our constituents and our riders to be able to get around. I am so grateful to our partners in labor, SEIU and labor generally, who really got it. And these are the folks who, they fix the cars, they maintain them, and they drive them. And we wouldn't be getting anywhere without them. And I'm so grateful to my colleagues, our Bay Area caucus. We were so united in making this happen under the leadership of Senator Josh Becker, the chair of the Bay Area caucus. And I'm also deeply grateful to my partner in the Senate, Senator Jesse Adeggin, who has just gone to the mat for transit, both as a local elected official and now as a senator. And thank you, Assemblymember Ortega and Berman, for your support and for being here as well. So with that, the governor has been an amazing partner for years and years, and he gets it, and we're so grateful. And with that, Governor Gavin Newsom.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator. Thank you all very much for being here. Thank you to all of those assembled behind me. Thank you for your patience, your faith, and devotion to this cause. Thank you for your stewardship and moving this bill forward. We'll be signing it just in one moment, appropriately inside the BART train. We are here not only supporting BART, but we're here supporting AC Transit. We're here supporting Muni. We're here supporting our partners across the region. We're here mindful in the spirit of what the Senator just said, that this is not just about transportation, it's about economic development. And it's also about our inheritance. And we've been, frankly, living off our inheritance. We've taken a lot of these systems for granted. We haven't invested in them over the course of many, many decades. I say this knowingly as a former representative, the Parking and Traffic Commission, my time here in the Bay Area, county supervisor, of course, mayor of the city and county of San Francisco. Mindful that it's also not just about economic development. It's also about the value proposition of the Bay. There's a reason this is the most vibrant, innovative, and entrepreneurial region in the world. It's not by chance, it's by design. We talk about that formula for success often as it relates to our system of higher education, this conveyor belt for talent. We talk about being able to get the best and the brightest from around the rest of the world, those first-round draft choices, as part of that formula. Also, it's part of the infrastructure investments we make. And speaking of investments, you saw one of those stories recently in the local newspaper about the folks out there in one part of San Francisco whose property values are literally attached to the success of these transit systems in Glen Park, among many other parts of this area. So this is about all of us. This is our identity. It's not just about moving people. It's about goods movement. It's about regional vitality. And it's about the energy and daring that is our great export here in the Bay Area and in our great state. Just briefly, it's a $590 million loan. It will be paid back in 12 years. First 2 years will be interest-free, and then the interest will be tied to what we normally receive at the state through what we call the SMF program, which is our surplus money fund, so that the general fund will not be shortchanged. This was the art of the deal. There are nuances, and forgive me, it's part of my job to be part of that process, and I just want to highlight and grateful for the recognition of the finance team and Joe Stepinaw and my team, the team, and Christine Aurore and others that worked hard with Senator Wiener, with Lori Wilson, with others to make sure that we stewarded this process and we moved quickly. This is the first action on the budget that the state has taken since the January budget was submitted. I'll be signing 2 additional bills today, both on efficiency as it relates to the administration of funds, particularly on climate, which is connected obviously to this today, and then support for promotion of what makes this state special, a movement of about $20 million to GoBiz to begin to promote what's right with this state and not allow folks that are so focused on what's wrong to dominate in terms of our collective focus and wisdom. The last point I'll make, I'm also mindful in the spirit of the opening remarks that we all need to step up our game and that we can't continue to do what we've done because we'll be right back here in a few years. That we have to do things differently. And one of the stipulated responsibilities as it relates to the $590 million was the oversight, the California Transportation Commission, and the accountability and responsibility and transparency that will come with acting anew and thinking anew as it relates to being more efficient and more effective with our funds. I intentionally neglected Caltran as one of the beneficiaries of this site because they're a proof point of doing things differently. The 51 miles, electrification, and the investments that we've made through the high-speed rail funds that are investments that are tangible and real, that have benefited that system, are also benefiting the quality of that experience. That's the spirit of the kind of transparency and accountability we want to see. It's about efficiency, it's about safety, and it's about the vibrancy of these systems. It's about meeting the expectation of taxpayers as well. So again, grateful to all the people that helped make this process possible. Also grateful for all those that worked on the process and sort of the ugly side of governing and managing. But I know this is long overdue, and I know how important this is to all of you. And on behalf of 40 million Californians, all of us here in the state of California. With that, we will walk on to one of these beautiful new train sets and sign the bill.